What's up everyone, and I am back with another video for you guys today. And today I just really want to do a reaction video to another video by Super Ramy. And I saw this on my feed and I just really had to make a reaction video to this because I'm a huge Marvel fan too, first and foremost. And especially for those who love Marvel comics like myself and the Marvel Cinematic Universe and love parody videos. This video is for you guys too, so when it comes to Thanos versus the Avengers debate, it's just like a complete parody. It's like, ain't no way this is gonna be crazy. So when it comes to with this video, especially for anyone who's just really watching this video too for the first time, for the second time, or if you don't really listen to my reaction to this too, you guys can watch the original video by Super Ramy. So the original video will be linked in the description below. And without further ado, let's get this party started. So I'm gonna play this video. This video looks really interesting. I am totally hyped for this shit.
I am Thanos, and today I am surrounded by 20 Avengers.
Oh shit, here we go.
My first claim is that everything I did was to relieve the universe of the suffering it could not bear. My plan to remove half of all life was not cruelty, it was mercy. Removing half of life was the least harmful choice.
Least harmful choice? Man, hold up. Oh no. Oh no, this guy is, oh man.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
I ain't got nothing else to say about that. Let's continue. What the fuck, man?
You know Thanos? I never understood.
Hulk got the sweater on with the muscles and shit. No homo, but goddamn. Holy shit. Got smart Hulk up in here, the first opponent. Alright, Hulk, respect. Alright.
How can you live 1,000 years, devote all those years to one problem? All of that just to end up with such a stupid, hollow plan.
The plan was proven. It was executed multiple times, and it worked. The entire universe united against it, and not one faction could stop it.
Until we did.
And you had to risk the existence of the multiverse to do that. And what did you do next to solve the problem? Nothing. And my planning is bad.
What we do is never perfect, and we admit that. The problem is that
Let me read this to you, Avengers. Yeah, they created a fucking homicidal robot. Excuse my language. Oh my gosh, Ultron. What the fuck was Tony and Hulk and what's his name too? Who was it? Yeah, it was just Tony and freaking Bruce. They created Ultron in that particular universe, of course, but my gosh, man, they could have avoided all those casualties and whatchamacallit? I totally forgot right now where Wanda and Quicksilver are from. Oh my gosh, so yeah, Sokovia. So oh my gosh, I had a brain fart right now. So they could have just solved that Sokovia kind of Accords thing too if they didn't create Ultron. I'm just gonna leave it at that. So you guys can totally disagree with me, whatever I have to say, especially to all the Marvel Cinematic fans and Marvel comic fans too. That's totally fine. I'm not here to argue or trying to debate, because if you try to harass me, I'm going to just block you on my channel. So first and foremost. So, but when it comes to disagreements, just feel free to share. If you have anything you agree on or disagree, just feel free to share that. Just feel free to be transparent, sharing your feelings and opinions and thoughts about what I've said, and especially with this video too, and what we're reacting to as well. But yeah, if they just didn't create Ultron, Tony, or and Bruce, and just adding Jarvis to that body of Vision, then they could have just solved a lot of things, honestly. So I mean, there could be like another. You know what? I'm just gonna shut the fuck up with that. I'm just gonna continue the video. So I'm just rambling on this shit. So let's get on with it too, shall we? Okay.
They often don't have a choice, unlike you.
I didn't have any choice either.
You had an abundance of choice. You just wanted to kill. But violence doesn't solve problems. You were smart enough to find the
It did actually. It probably solved like 90% of his problems too. Shit. If you guys didn't see the Hulk movie with Ed Norton, that is the goated Hulk movie, man. In my opinion, of course. And I know the other movie too is alright. I know people don't talk about it, or like with the Lou Ferrigno series with the Incredible Hulk and all that too, which is a classic too. By the way, that's way before my time too as well. But when it comes to with the Edward Norton kind of Hulk, that is a goated Hulk movie, and hopefully in the future there will be another Hulk movie because it's well needed right now, especially with him having this. I don't want to. Actually, I'm gonna want to spoil it for people. I'm gonna shut the hell up about that because I noticing too when it comes to my videos that I tend to say like I don't want to spoil it for people, then I just really do it. So I'm just going to really keep my mouth shut and just really let you guys explore it for yourselves when it comes to the Marvel Cinematic Universe and everything else. But with this fact check, this is true. I say it's about 90% or even 100. So that's just my opinion on that. Oh, let's see if it plays.
The stones, but not smart enough to think of doubling the resources instead of killing half of the people.
Double the resources, the more there is to take, the fiercer the battle to possess it. An excess of resources can be just as dangerous, just as destabilizing as the lack of
That is total bullshit.
I speak from experience. I have witnessed planets.
Let's look at the fact checks. Let's look at the fact checks. No critical said too many resources destabilize planets. Historically, most societies that collapse. Oh. Oh shit. What? Okay, that's something to sit with too. No credible evidence suggests that too many resources destabilize planets. Historically, most societies that collapse from abundance or actually short. Wow, I'll let that sink in for a bit. Oh shit. So yeah, feel free to share your feelings and opinions and facts about this fact check if it's actually true or not too. So I'm not going to go there. I'm just going to leave it at that, and I'm just going to continue with the video too.
Die from starvation, yes, but I have also witnessed societies collapses from having too much, from the greed and endless fighting that abundance
I don't
fuels.
buy that. But even if your goal was to specifically limit the growth of population because you think it's the best plan, there are many other ways to do that, like random sterilization of half of the population, or locking the populations to a maximum number of individuals, in a way that once that point is reached, it becomes impossible to get pregnant until someone dies. I don't really agree with even those, but they are still so much better than genocide.
You really think that would
half of
stop
all
them?
life.
You think they wouldn't find a way around it? We live in a universe where magic and technology.
So she's close to Thanos. He's to find something cool. That's why he needs to defend his way. Since him now, unfortunately, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. They're roasting Thanos in this episode, man. Ain't no way, man. That's crazy. I'm gonna let it continue. That's crazy.
Technology define nature every day. Do you honestly believe people wouldn't find a way to reproduce
come
anyway?
on. You're really trying to convince us you had no other option when you literally held the power to reshape reality. They are called the Infinity Stones because they offer infinite possibilities. You expect us to believe you were utterly constrained?
Yes. There is probably some super complicated, highly elaborated plan that could have worked.
Look
but
at Thor
you
chilling
used
over there,
the
Black Panther.
stones. You know how hard they are to use.
Yeah,
the more
that's some
complicated the plan, the greater the risk of.
It's important to note that this guy's plan B was to destroy and rebuild the entire universe. Yeah, he was really trying to do that. That's he was really trying to, in his mind, wanted to just balance things in the universe when it comes to with just chaos and order. But that's a really complicated topic to go into, just because I know fans would agree with Thanos' plan and tactics and approach and his vision and his perspective on it, then other people would say like he's a total maniac and all that. So with me personally, I'm not sure. I'm in the middle. So it's like, I get it. He wants to balance things out in the universe when it comes to with everything that's, in it and around it, literally and metaphorically. But at the same time, his methods are kind of extreme too. So it's like, I don't know. I'm always see things in the middle, not like one extreme to the next, So yeah. Oh man, that's hard to debate. Oh man, that is good.
Catastrophic error. My plan was the perfect balance. Simplicity and
And
efficiency.
slicing existence in half doesn't risk things going wrong. Your plan is everything but efficient. A hell of things can go wrong. The first I can think about is how killing 50% doesn't leave you with 50% alive. People depend on each other. Children need parents. Communities rely on key individuals. That instantaneous loss of half of life guarantees far more than 50% dying in the ensuing
You think
chaos.
I didn't consider that? That people depend on each other? That losing one life can take 10 more with it? I did, but dependency is exactly why balance had to be forced. I know it causes chaos. I've seen it before. I never got to try it on my own world, but I did see it work elsewhere. Planets that followed my plan rebuilt stronger. Every time the pattern was the same. Pain first, then order. The ones who survived
That's what I
didn't
was
just
talking about earlier.
rebuild. They built better.
That is what you always do, isn't it? You break the
Sorry
world,
for clearing
and
my
then you
throat.
talk
That's
long enough to
obvious.
convince yourself it was the only way. You twist every mess into proof that you were
And
right.
you and your friends love to talk about what's wrong. You preach your soft, easy views. A killing is bad, so you can feel clean while the universe rots the same way it always has. You had the stones, and what did you do? You used them to put everything exactly back how it was. You saved no one. You just made sure nothing changed.
Oh shit.
Look, no matter
That's
how
deep.
great your imaginary spreadsheet says the results are, genocide in half of all
Spider-Man. What's up,
existence
Spidey?
can never be right.
I wouldn't call what I did a genocide.
You killed half of the entire universe. What are we calling it then?
I didn't kill them. It was a painless erasure. They weren't going to get a better ending, even in the best case scenario. It was random and not biased. It can never be called a genocide. See it as a necessary,
talk about
natural
painless?
event.
I felt the horror of that snap, buddy. It's still by far the worst experience.
Records show that Peter has lost his uncle to a murder. His mentor to sacrifice his aunt to a supervillain in high school. Statistically speaking, Snap is still fighting for it. Yeah, the Snap is still. Oh my gosh, Peter had it rough, man. He goes through so much. I don't know why the writers don't treat him with more respect as they should when it comes to the legacy of Spider-Man. He's an OG character in the entertainment industry, and they got to just put more respect on Spider-Man's name. Not just, the OG Spider-Man, but also other variations of him too, from his, protege to other versions of Spider-Man too. So, yeah. Oh man, poor Peter. He gets it rough, and he always gets the short end of the stick, man. I can relate to that too. But man, shout out to you, Spider-Man. You're the GOAT, man. I don't care what people say. You're the GOAT, man.
Experience of my entire life. You can call it whatever you want because you weren't
I
the one
experienced
erased.
far worse than that. And everything I did was intended to prevent you and everyone else from experiencing the same.
And who gave you the right to choose for us?
It's not a right, it's a responsibility. I was the only being in the universe with a power great enough to save everybody. And you know it best, Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh my god, that quote. Don't use his quotes against him, man. What's wrong with you?
I understood that reference.
The quote originates from Spider-Man's late uncle using it to justify mass. Exactly. It's like quoting Gandhi to explaining why he just punched. Exactly. That fact check is so right. What the hell? Bruh, don't use his words against him. What the fuck?
Dare you? That
Yeah.
mantra can never justify what you did. Great responsibility is the responsibility to preserve the right to choose. It's not the authority to force
Talk
what
to him,
you
Spider-Man.
think is
Talk
right
to him.
onto
What if they clearly lack the ability to know what's right
They
for them?
still have the right to
Talk to him.
choose. You don't get to decide what's right, you God-complex maniac.
So let's say hypothetically that the majority of the people of New York decide to start supporting the Green Goblin, for example.
Ooh.
Would you let them do that?
Ooh.
Or would you do what you think is
Oh.
actually
I am
right?
certainly not going
Oh.
to go and kill all of them. They will certainly be misled, but I will not try to force them to what I think is right. I will try to understand and see where they are coming.
Hold up. Interestingly, a resembling similar situation once occurred when the group actually did turn against stay exposed. Yeah, that's right. That's right. That did happen in the movies too. I didn't quite understand and guide anyone instead. He asked the wizard to erase everyone's memory. He asked the wizard to erase everyone's memory because, you know, when it comes to with Mysterio showing his identity to the world. So I think Thanos got you there, man. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And people probably seen the movie before too, you know, Far From Home and all that. So, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm sorry. So I probably got the titles wrong, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So definitely, let's continue.
Coming from, and then guide them and inspire them to do what's right. That's the true responsibility that comes with power.
My second claim is emotions have no place in decisions that shape the universe. The Avengers act from fear, anger, and guilt. I act from reason. I see the wound. I make the cut. Pain is irrelevant if it brings balance. Emotion clouds judgment. Logic brings order.
You can't claim that, Thanos, when
Dr.
you yourself
Strange.
are
How'd
a
I know he was
terrible
gonna be-
emotional mess.
I didn't doom the future of the universe just because I refused to sacrifice beings I love. Beings that are actually insignificant in the grand scheme of
Acting
things.
pragmatic doesn't work when
I
your emotions...
sacrificed everything, even myself. I was ready for everything I love, even my own self, to be erased in that snap. Because I can see the bigger picture.
Acting pragmatic doesn't work when your emotions are the reason you were blinded enough to proceed with such a crazy plan.
I didn't want to do that. I sacrificed all I wanted to do what's best for the others. I kept my heart in constant pain because I know the mind is the path to virtue.
You are only acting out of trauma. When you saw your planet dying, you suggested genocide and you were laughed out of the door. When it fell apart, you were ashamed and you developed a deep, selfish need for redemption. You were humiliated last time, so you would let nothing stop your plan, not even
No,
logic.
Doctor. You mistake trauma for clarity. My planet's death didn't wound me. It opened my eyes. I watched a civilization collapse because it chose comfort over truth, hope over balance. I learned that emotion blinds.
Hold up, hold up. Another fact check. Hold up. We gotta see this. And it's cause for the fall of the Titan. The tragedy that defined him yet when he finally had the power to bring it back. Yeah, he didn't bring that planet back. Then why did he didn't bring his people back? That says a lot about his character and his emotional intelligence too, if you really think about it. And it's like, man, like, you know, if Thanos really cared about the balance of the universe and people wanted to thrive, you know, in a healthy way, couldn't he just bring some of his people back, his parents and all that? And it kind of like, it really defines his evil nature just because he's, you know, when it comes to with that, not only, you know, being the Titan and all that, well, not like a Titan, like a, you know, primordial and all that, but, you know, when it comes to with him just being like a deviant Titan too, in the comic book lore too, so it's just, you know, with this fact check, it really just makes sense because it's like, huh, like why he didn't bring his people back, you know, when it comes to during the Infinity War saga. It's like, you know, if I was in his position, I'd be like, hey, let's bring our people back just to balance the universe, bringing things like in the middle ground, not to one chaotic end to another. I don't know. It's just with that too. So I know I probably sound crazy saying that. I'm just speaking from a comic book, you know, fan perspective too, and a movie fan perspective too. So I don't know. Who am I to say? I could be totally wrong about this shit. So let's continue. Let's see the play.
More lives than cruelty ever could. I didn't act from grief. I acted from vision. I saw what no one else would see, and I did what no one else would
You
dare.
sound like I once did. Back when I was a surgeon, I believed precision and control could solve everything. Pain, chaos, even death itself. I was so obsessed with logic,
true.
I forgot I was human. Losing my hands forced me to learn balance. Now I let my...
Strange is right about that. Strange newfound balance between heart and mind is still leading. Yeah. However, his heart may have been slightly oversteered when he decided to rewrite their memories of the entire planet because, yeah, one teenager is having a rough week. And we know who that teenager is with the spider powers and all that shit. Just because he's having a rough week, people know his identity, and he asked the wizard to really just erase people's minds, and he did it. And if I was Doctor Strange in that position, I would have said, no, live with the consequences, man. You fuck around, you find out. So... yeah, that's just me saying that. Damn.
My heart guide me as much as my mind. I don't ignore emotion anymore. I trust it when it tells me
You always
what's right.
speak like a man examining a patient, pretending you see everything that others can't. You stand there, dissecting me as if I'm another case on your table, but I am not your patient. I am the cure. The universe is sick, and I'm the only one willing to operate.
Maybe I do have the bad habit of diagnosing. But allow me one last diagnosis. You've got a serious case of main character syndrome. You don't serve the universe. You think the universe serves your story.
Oh, shit. Let me read this shit. Doctor Strange claims to have overcome his main character's syndrome. Well supported by evidence and multiverse of madness, he was in fact not even the main. Character. Yeah, that's true. He wasn't even the main character of his own movie too. So yeah, that's some shit right there. Yeah, definitely. That fact checked is so right. Definitely.
I used to think like that. I thought I was the center of the world until the universe reminded me I wasn't. The difference between us, Thanos, is that I learned to step out of the story. You still believe you're the only one who can write the ending.
Thanos. My problem with you
Captain
isn't just what you did.
Steve.
It's your entire
Happy Veterans
worldview.
Day, my brother.
You look at people and see problems to solve. I look at them and see lives worth trusting, worth believing in.
Trust them to do what exactly? Destroy themselves? Because that's what they do. Every time I've watched it happen on world after world.
Then you help them do better. You don't just erase half of them and call it mercy. People have a right to choose their own path.
How come he sounds like Batman? I don't know why. I don't know if anyone who's listening to this, watching this reaction video, but why does Captain America sound like Batman a little bit? How does it? That's just me, or am I tripping? So, just feel free to let me know for anyone who's watching this video and reaction video too, or who has watched the original video by Super Rami. I just find that really interesting. Oh man, just to take the notes on that too.
Even if it's messy. Especially if it's messy. That's what freedom
Messy
means.
is a mild way to describe the end of worlds. Tell me, are you saying I should respect the will of the people, even when I know they're leading themselves to ruin? You'd really do that?
They were not wrong. You were. But to answer that question, yes, you should respect their will, even if they...
Let me read this. Steve insists on people's will must be trusted. This position is so... Yeah, it is complicated.
It's a motherfucker what? Shut up, bitch!
Yeah, he did solve it with vibranium. And when it comes to the topic of vibranium, I think T'Challa will be the right candidate to talk about that. So, yeah, that's just me saying that too. When it comes to the topic of vibranium, that's T'Challa's area too. When it comes to it, that first and foremost, my brother T'Challa. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, man. You know, the GOAT. So... oh man, it's just yeah, that fact check is right there. It's fact right there. That's true. When it comes to it, that fact check though.
wrong, and you should work to guide them back to
Then
the
let's
right way.
test your conviction. Hypothetically, half the universe votes for my plan. A referendum, a democratic mandate. They agree. Erase half of all life to save the whole. The people have spoken. Would you still fight me? Or would you respect the will of the people?
That's
That's not a fair question. The people will never do that.
It's just a hypothetical. You say the people's
Hypothetical
will is
question, my boy.
sacred. So tell me, if they chose me, would you stand aside?
No, I'd fight you because there
You're
are some
stumbling
lines
your
you
words,
don't cross.
Captain.
There it is. So the will of the people shouldn't always be respected. You'd override them, impose your moral vision over theirs.
That's not what
It's exactly what you're saying.
Thanos got you
believe
there,
in
Cap.
democracy right up until the moment they choose something you find unacceptable. Then suddenly, you know better. We're not so different, Steve. We both fight for a vision. We both believe we're right. The only difference is I don't pretend
No,
otherwise.
the difference is I'd spend every moment before that vote trying to show them another way. I'd argue. I'd persuade. I'd offer alternatives. I wouldn't give up on them.
Let me pause there for a minute too. So when it comes to what they're saying too, like Thanos comparing, Captain America to himself, I mean, that's a good argument there. I'm not gonna lie. That's yeah, especially with the Sokovia Accords too, like, with Captain America and Iron Man, just like Iron Man's all about accountability, Captain America is all about choice, and it's just hard to pick each side because both of them are right in their own way, basically. And just like Captain America enforcing his will on people just to believe in his kind of stance, I mean, that sounds a lot like Thanos too. So, but I know Captain America is not like a bully because he hates bullies. You guys probably seen the Captain America movie too, when it comes to with that. And sorry to spoil it to anyone who's just watching this video. So when it comes to with that, and damn, that is a good argument there. Holy shit. Oh, excuse my language. Sorry to say that in God's name, but damn. Whew, I let that one sit for a minute.
You never even gave them the chance.
And if they still voted yes after all your speeches, what
Then
then?
I'd have to live with knowing I failed to reach them. But I wouldn't become you. I wouldn't decide their lives are disposable just because I think they are
You
wrong.
call that strength? Living with failure while everything falls apart? That's not virtue. That's surrender wrapped in
The
hope.
world isn't perfect, Thanos. It never will be. But that's not a flaw. That's what makes it worth fighting for. People stumble. They fail. They rebuild. That's how they grow.
So you've made peace with failure. Tell me, Steve, if perfection were possible, would you accept
If
it?
you mean a world without suffering, without hate, then yes, of course I would. But that world
Then why
doesn't
did you
exist.
reject it when I offered it?
Offered it. Killing half the universe isn't perfection. It's
I'm
erasure.
not talking about that.
Then what are you talking about?
I'll explain it in my next claim. My final claim is that the Avengers don't serve the universe. They serve their illusion of being its saviors. When I abandoned my first plan,
Oh shit. Do y'all agree with this? For any Marvel Comics fans or Marvel Cinematic Universe fans out there? That is a tough one to debate. I wonder who's gonna be challenging him on this one. Let's see.
and offered to build something better. A
I think
universe
it's gonna be
without
Tony.
hunger, without pain. They refused. Not because it was evil, but because it wasn't theirs.
What was your new plan?
I
again?
knew it.
Made
I
me
knew it.
realize
It's gonna be
this
Tony. I
universe
knew
is
it.
broken beyond repair. So I offered to create a new one.
Iron Man.
Abundant, free of suffering.
Right. So you went from kill half to kill everyone. Big improvement. Real character
Your
growth.
perspective is too small. I'm not killing. I'm erasing everything and starting over. No one will feel anything. They'll simply wake up in a perfect universe.
We stopped you because you're not the god of this universe who gets to restart it whenever you don't like how things are going.
You did exactly that when I did things you didn't like.
And he
you
killed
played
you,
God
Thanos,
with space
so
and time
you shouldn't be
to
talking
change
shit.
the universe back into a way
Spoiler
that
alert.
suited you.
We fixed what you broke. We're not changing the universe to fit us. We're bringing it back to the way it was,
Which is what fits you.
which fits everybody. Everyone agreed with our plan. Everyone.
I don't think they
Hold
will.
on, hold
when
on,
their
hold on,
world's
hold on. According to the recent official poll, the Avengers plan against Thanos, the second effectiveness with 97.3% approval. Whoa. Narrowly losing to Ant-Man's yeah, Ant-Man's plan was sus as shit. Nah. Ant-Man's plan, no, that was sus. I never agree with that. Yeah, so The Avengers plan was solid, but Ant-Man's plan, nah, fuck that. No, excuse my language. I got to say it. Fuck that. Nah. I agree with this fact check. Yeah, that's some shit.
Start crumbling again. You reinforce the same system that failed before. Tell me, Tony, you said you don't trust me with restarting the universe, but you had the stones. Why didn't you do
Because
it?
I'm not a
'Cause
crazy
he
psychopath
killed
who
you,
thinks he's a god.
But you were in that moment, whether you admit it or not. You had the power to fix everything, end disease, hunger, war, and you chose not to.
My job was to fix what you broke, to bring everybody back.
And bring their misery back with them when you could have stopped it. You had omnipotence in your hands, and you chose this, a world still full of suffering.
Because it's their suffering to overcome, not mine to erase. You think wiping the slate clean makes you a savior? It makes you a coward who couldn't handle the universe as it
I'm
actually...
the only one who saw it clearly. You brought back 5 billion people to a planet that was already collapsing under its own weight. Within a generation, they'll...
We'll figure it out.
Like
That's
they
what
figured it
people
out
do.
before. Your sentimentality blinds
Your
you to
arrogance
basic
is exactly
mathematics,
why no one should
population
trust you.
growth,
Ooh, there's gonna be a
resource
fight in
depletion,
this
climate.
motherfucker.
You see people as numbers
And
on
you
a...
see them as children who need protecting. At least I'm honest about making hard choices
that's
instead of
true.
pretending
Choices.
everyone
Oh,
can
man,
just
Snapping
good.
your fingers is
This is
easy.
good.
Actually solving problems. Actually believing people
believing
can.
accomplishes nothing when the ship is sinking. Action.
Murder isn't action.
Restoration
It's
isn't
surrender.
salvation. It's delusion.
Says the guy who wanted to kill literally everyone.
To save everyone, which is more
You
than
can't
you.
save people by erasing
And you
them.
can't save
Exactly
them
so.
by doing nothing.
That's true. Oh, that is a tough one. Oh my goodness, that is a really good video. So, oh man, just to my feelings and opinions and thoughts about this video too. So, oh man, that is such a tough one. Oh my gosh. So, I'll let you guys decide when it comes to with that. Me personally, I'm kind of a mixed bag because I can see both sides from every argument, but when it comes to with this video, if you guys want to see the original video and don't want to listen to my actual reaction to it, it'll be linked in the description below. And if you guys liked my reaction to it as well and you want to see more videos like this too, when it comes to with like more reaction videos and all that, and feel free to subscribe to this channel. And all credit goes to Super Ramy. This video is really good, informative, entertaining. I got some entertainment from it too, and I was excited about it too because I love Marvel Comics, Marvel Universe. Shout out to Stan Lee, rest in power to him. And of course too, when it comes to with that, and yeah, just like with the original creators of Marvel Comics, Stan Lee and everybody else who's worked with certain characters over their last century too. So when it comes to with just bringing those characters to life, especially being in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though it really just started off with Blade, so when it comes to with that, if you really think about it, and then it just went down there with the Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire, and then next thing that came out too, like after the Fantastic Four, Elektra, Punisher, and all that, Ghost Rider, and then like Tony Stark too, Iron Man. That was kind of like boom. There you go. So that's where the magic happens too. And yeah, just again, feel free to share your opinions, your feelings and opinions and thoughts about this video too. And I'll see you guys around in the social media streets. You guys take care, live your best lives, continue to have fun, be responsible, and just really taking care of yourselves and other people that you care about and your environment. And I will see you guys around in these social media streets, like I said before. So you guys take care and many blessings.